Hi beautifuls, welcome to YILDIZ Readings 5D. For those of you that don't know, I'm a psychic medium. I cover astrology and everything else I cover is above on the screen. Now, we don't like long intros, so my contacts are directly below, and how to book, what, where, why, how has been all left to the end. Those of you who have clicked the link, I do automate posts to keep you in the loop as when I'm coming live and where I'm going to be. So without further ado, let's get into the update and the real reason you're here. Enjoy. Grab a cuppa, sit back and relax. Love to hear your feedback. Hi beautifuls, welcome back. Yes, we're here to do your update, and these are done this way on this occasion for the monthly due to the fact I am moving, but during the month I will be live and I will be back on video again, so apologies ahead of time. Without further ado, let's get into your update. Hi beautiful Taurus, welcome to your romance house as well as your general energy, and this is really going to help you move through this whole month into the month of October. Now, we always do want to get the best out of our life, so these are the tips and tricks, and we're also going to talk about singles, couples, and those of you who are in between. Now, yes, it has been a pretty tedious few months, emotionally speaking. You may have felt quite fatigued, and again, the moon phases that we're really going through, both Leo and Aquarius, may have directly affected your nervous system. So if you were feeling anxious, it is perfectly normal, but please look after your nervous system, both by eating food groups that's going to balance such, moving through the wave rather than against it. It's almost like accepting transformations are changing. Gee, this is coming up. And also, lastly, drink fluid, keep your fluid intake up, and be human. Be okay with the fact that you don't have to be perfect, and that yes, this has been a pretty challenging time. Now, yes, moving into this month, we can have blasts from the past coming back for those of you who are single. And also, you may have really wanted to suddenly have this drastic change of hairdo, drastic change of the way you show up, and it can go to extremities. Just really be careful on the cash front, more so from an expense, because we are having Mercury moving retrograde. Now, there also can be some blessings and gifts given to you. People can really value you and look at you differently. And again, it's like a rebirth, so it is very transformative. You also may have had a lot of things going on at home, a lot of balancing, but new beginnings. Now, some of you, yes, you could be moving. Very separately, what you will find moving into the rest of the month is that when it does come to fertility, you are quite fertile. So if you do want to launch something and you are single, just be very careful, because it is quite a romantic time. It's also, creating healthy boundaries, not getting scared that you can't take your time. You can take your time as long as you need, especially if you do want this to go the distance. And I do feel if you are healing, taking the time to communicate, I do feel some of you could be on the same plate as this individual. But again, it is going to be a time of assessment. Separately, if you are a single parent and you are single, ready to mingle, you could be looking at, again, the devil in the detail. How is this going to come about? What are my needs? What are my realities? Am I being too hard on myself? I don't need to be perfect. So, just really loving yourself from wherever you stand, especially in the realm of love. An inner child again can come through, but you can definitely have a new beginning. And when it does come to romance, this can be quite romantic, but really getting down and having that intellectual conversation. Now, those of you who are in a partnership already, there's a lot of hopes and dreams being forged, but there can be some shifts and changes in love, and you will really be looking at the give and take. It will be, okay, what are you doing? What am I doing? And again, it can get down to the nitty gritty of, taking this relationship to the next level. And I do feel both couples and singles are going to look absolutely glorious. You also may be a little bit more private and really want that privacy with your love interest. And again, this can be a very romantic time. We do need to, however, because of the Scorpio transit, be a little bit more careful when we are intimate. and that's due to the astrological aspects. But you know, forewarned, forearmed, and again, this can also be bringing into a new creation for you, or it could just very separately be having a wonderful romantic time, looking at ways that we can spend that quality time with each other. And it doesn't have to be financial, it can just be very spiritual, real good down to, you know, earth conversation and a, you know, a vegetarian pizza or something to that degree. Whatever it is that you do, whatever your thing is. Now, those of you who are on the fence, you can become understanding and compassionate, but I do feel your values are important. And so you can find that you're looking at the give and take and assessing this dynamic. You also may find that this can be an ending and a new beginning, but you also are going to look really beautiful, really handsome. Also keeping your feelings quite hidden, but you are seeking a very deep connection, something that's going to go the distance, but also where the give and take is going to be there. Tension points might have been there relating to family, group energies, maybe your work schedule, and onto your work. Regardless of how love is going, I can tell you also we are having more videos done during the month, which is psychic in nature, and I will tune in individually as well to the twin flame path. Now, into your work domain, I do feel if there had been intensities and changes and shifts, I do feel now it should ease up. The other area I can say is really some of the things that you're really liking to do, they may go by the wayside, and sometimes it's almost like digging through that paperwork and trying to get through it. And I feel by the end of the month, your tension might be a little bit higher than usual. Do create healthy boundaries. Also look at whether in your mind, whatever it is you're trying to achieve, be it it's you're putting your resumes out, do such at the beginning of the month. That can really generate in a employment for you. And I also feel you will be hot to trot on the agenda with luck on your side, and people are really going to see the value. You will come through very mysterious. You will come through almost like people are wanting to tell you anything and everything, and that can really be your saving grace right now. But use it wisely, because these themes, especially during Mercury retrograde, can come out. So be super cautious and don't be your house of your undoing. And I'm not saying you are. Suggestion via astrology. Separately and spiritually, I do see financially, you know, some of the things that you liked maybe are going to go by the wayside. Some of your hopes and dreams you might be second guessing, but it can just be that it transforms, but you'll find it'll be more so towards the end of the month. Now, yes, finances, career can start easing up. We are really from here into the following month going to be going through these shifts and changes. There can be new laws, new legislations, there can be shifts that, you know, your workplace is undergoing. But again, if you are seeking employment for your zodiac sign, it's a very positive time. Now, transformatively so, we do currently have Uranus and Taurus retrograde. So again, you do need to look after your health. You do need to make sure you get adequate sleep, that you are getting the mind, body, soul in balance, and also doing things that are well for you, especially moving into 2022. I think after the last 3 months, it's really showed us, because Jupiter dipped back into Pisces, how can we show up for ourselves, and how can we acknowledge, you know, what are the fallacies, what are the truths, what is that analytical mind telling us, how can we restructure our lives so we're in more balance, and where can we take life just where it stands right now. Now, yes, collectively, there has been a lot of themes in the media that is very much connected to the moons that are coming up this month. The first moon we're having is in the house of Virgo. Now, in the house of Virgo, it can relate to health and well-being. It's holistic. It can be, you know, medicine and things to that degree. You also may be looking at such inside your life, and it can be, you know, it can be relating to children. It can be relating to, hey, you know, you're wanting children, you're trying to look after yourself. Others of you, it can be workplace related, but there can be themes to do with such coming up. You will find that at this point, you might be a little bit critical on your diet, and that's more from a vibration of visual and your personal expectation on yourself, but that can shift. If there was inner child wounds coming up, you may find as we move into the rest of the month, it's not so strict, and you make peace with things, and you make peace with who you are and acknowledge and love thyself. You also, if you have been quite stressed and really trying to get something off the ground, you can find that you do have some reprieve, and this can be very positive, and it can be emotional. It's almost like, wow, you know, I was seeking perfection and I found something accidentally. So however it lands, do share to care. I would love to hear your feedback on how it has occurred for you. And remember, these energies start really from now, moving into September through to October. So not initially. Sometimes we can drop comments and say, hey, this doesn't resonate. But 9 times out of 10, we need to let the energy play out. And it is very individual in nature, so it can come through in various ways. Separately, later in the month, towards the 20th, we do have the full moon in Pisces, and pre-warned, forearmed, we'll know between the reality and a delusion. We also do need to look after ourselves. Our social environments, especially for you, Taurus, you do need to be careful. You know, anything relating to pacifiers. Pisces is 12th house. That can be substances, addictive tendencies, food, diet, nutrition, obsession, health, mind, body, soul, psychology. It's the house of hidden enemies. Now, it can be spiritual, depending on if we can go, okay, I'm getting triggered. Let me take a moment. Okay, I'm triggered. Let me articulate how I'm feeling. But when we are not in that Navman, where the Navman is directly guiding us and we're pacifying these situations or getting triggered through it, environmental control and healthy boundaries is going to be key here. And it can be, oh wow, you know, I found that anytime I'm stressed, maybe I'm going for a bottle. And this is just one analogy. It does not mean that this is what you're doing. But I can guarantee you, near the full moon in Pisces, it can be emotionally triggering, and especially moving into 2022. So take stock of what this full moon does for you. Take stock of how it directly occurs, because whatever those changes are that you need to make, it is a full moon. I would highly advise you look at it, because it can be themes that come up in 2022. We won't have the moon there, we'll have Jupiter there, and it amplifies it. Now, this is the place where we can grow. This is the place we can remove those obstacles in our way to make our hopes and dreams come true. And it is ways in which we can live a more holistic, grounded life. Thanks for joining YILDIZ Readings. If you do need to find the link for the Members Hub, it is directly below in the information box, or you can see above on the screen, it's on the main page. Now, we have 3 tier levels, as well as on Fridays, we are live on the main platform. By clicking the bell, I automate posts for both the members and the main page, plus any additional information I feel you need. The website is being updated, and we do have a lot more content on it, as well as new products coming in 2022. If you do want to join webinars, we have the list, as well as the launch of the Age of Aquarius with the VIP list. For all my other media content, follow me live on the links below. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, we all have it covered, and we have more content coming. See you during the week.